Thanks everyone and welcome. Special welcome to a number of journalists we've got around in the room and our helpers from across the city, other officers who have come to help us on this meeting tonight. Today's meeting is open to the public. My name is Councillor Alan Hooper. I'm Councillor for West Ecclesfield. I'm also Chair of the North Local Area Committee. Before I ask other councillors to introduce themselves, I'll hand over to Philippa Burdett, who will read the housekeeping arrangements. Thank you, Philippa.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Chair. Before we start, there's just a few housekeeping arrangements to mention. Please can I request that mobile telephones and other such equipment are switched to silent so as not to disturb the conduct of the meeting. There's no fire test planned for today. If there is an emergency evacuation, please take instruction from the council staff present. The assembly point is in the car park. The toilet facilities are situated through these doors and straight opposite. We need to use the microphones for the webcast purposes. We'll give it a go and then see what happens. Is it? I'll try putting it in a different position. I don't know. We'll try that one. Is that any better? The meeting today is open to the public and will be streamed live and for subsequent broadcast via the council's website.
I'm right councillor for East Ecclesfield. Right, we'll be councillor for West.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm with councillor for West Ecclesfield Ward and Deputy Chair of this committee.
I'm Andy Mellon, I'm Community Services.
Good evening, I'm Janet River, I'm councillor for Stocksbridge and Upper Dark.
Hi, my name is Craig Gamble-Pugh. I'm the City Councillor for East Ecclesfield Ward, which includes Ecclesfield and Sheffield Town, especially coming out of this cold, wintry night.
Thank you all. Before I proceed with the agenda of the meeting, I'd like to explain briefly how the meeting will work. First, we'll deal with the formal business of apologies and declarations of interest. We will then move on to the theme of our meeting, which is youth and play provision. This will begin with presentations by youth service providers in the Northland area, and we follow them by an interactive breakout discussion, and we welcome all your thoughts and contributions. Short feedback sessions will follow on from this. Following on from that, we'll move on to finally, we will ask the committee to approve the minutes of the last week. I've also got at least one public question. Is there anyone else in the room that's got a public question and or a petition? Therefore, I propose to put the public question after item 4, which is the declaration. So item number 2 is apologies for that.
I'll just give the microphone a try again. Apologies for absence from Councillor Mark Whittaker, Alan Woodcock, Penny Baker and Will Sapwell.
Thank you.
My apologies for early departure to the flight 7.
Thank you, Craig. Item 3 is exclusion of the press and public press. There are no items that require the exclusion of press. Declarations of interest. Do any members wish to declare any interest in any of the items of business on the agenda? We'll now move on to the public questions. Mr. Williams, you'd like to come forward and use the mic. Try and use the mic there. See if it works. Thank you very much. The floor is yours.
So,
As long as you're in about that much space, it should still be.
is that okay? I'd like to bring to your attention the problem of fireworks. Every year they seem to get worse, start earlier and go on longer. This year was particularly bad, I thought. Really, they're not fireworks, they're actually explosives, grade A explosives, used by the member of the public. I think that's completely crazy. I would like to see the total ban on the sale of fireworks to the public. Special displays only. The damage that they do to wildlife, domestic animals, nervous people, old people, the distress they cause is really serious. Also, these fireworks, weapons, are being used as weapons by thugs and criminals aimed at the police and emergency services who are trying to assist with fires, injuries to people, and these terrible explosives are being turned on them. Excuse me. I can't believe in this day and age, when it's so difficult to get a shotgun licence or anything like that, that we allow the members of the public to buy such deadly, antisocial things and use them every year. Year on year, the same problem occurs and occurs again, and yet we continue to allow the sale of these. I would seriously like to consider or to get some kind of way of protesting about these things being used as they are. I believe there's a petition gone into Downing Street. Massive amounts of people have signed it. Everybody you speak to seems to think they're a nuisance and a problem, but the problem that they are is much more serious than people seem to realise. So I would like your consideration on those points, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim. Councillor wants to comment?
No? Sorry, no?
I don't know if that's working or not. You turn that one up. Right, okay. Well, that sounds horrible. I would incline to agree with you. I know I have a dog that's terrified of fireworks, and it's a time of the year that we always dread. But then on the other hand of it, you know, it brings a lot of people who go to displays and all the rest of it. They enjoy it, and it becomes a family event. So it is a difficult balance to get. But I do fully appreciate where you're coming from, that it does go on for a long time. I mean, this year it was from the Saturday before until I think we had the last one on the Tuesday after so a whole week after bonfire night. So it does go on for a very lengthy period of time. So I would, yeah.
To sell them to the general public. I'm not displays organised council, no problem. But some youth that goes in to buy them and just fire them at the end of their block. And it's not just bonfire right now. Weddings, New Year's, anything at all, any excuse. And anybody can go buy these things. And if you burn them and stuff, they're not fireworks that they used to be. They are explosives. And they're extremely dangerous. And will be stopped in place.
So I feel very much in a similar vein to, sorry, I didn't catch your name, Jim, in the fact of the harm that it does to animals, to people, those with PTSD who kind of feel under pressure kind of during firework night, but also during the New Year period. This came to me, I think it was a red panda cub passed away due to stress in Edinburgh Zoo, and I'm thankful of Christine Jardine, Lib Dem MP, for raising this issue in Parliament. I would like to personally see more stringent requirements on licensing when it comes to the sale of fireworks. So before we contemplate an entire ban on sale to the public, that it is a licensing requirement for the sale of fireworks, and see whether this can can stem the tide of kind of improper purchase and improper sale of fireworks to members of the public, and try and find a bit of a centre ground with that.
Like Anna, I've got a dog and she's just totally terrified, and she has been for the last 2 weeks or so. She goes behind a door in the room and behind the settee, and she won't come out. It's just bad. And she won't even leave the house at night now when the fireworks are on. But yeah, I'm not sure what we can do with this, Jim. I would probably suggest that we send it to licensing to let them have a look at it first. I know over the past few years fireworks have been restricted for loudness, and also the sale of fireworks has been shrunk. I think it's mid-October now when they can begin selling them, but they do go on, and it is an issue. So thanks for bringing the question, Jim. We'll see what we can do. Thank you very much.
Item number 5
is the North Star Award. It's an award which the LAC has started off. Unfortunately for East Ecclesfield, we haven't got anyone to come along and receive an award today, but I am well aware, as all other councillors are, of the great work that volunteers do throughout the LAC. So my proposal is that at our next meeting we have 2 awards, which will be one for East Ecclesfield Ward and one for the Stannington Ward, where the next meeting will be held. Thank you. The next item is youth and play provision. We have 3 guest speakers and presentations, and the first one is Louise. Louise is the Deputy Service Manager, Youth Services, Sheffield City Council. Over to you, Louise. Thank you. With the mic, if it'll work.
Thank you. So, like Chair said, my name is Louise Ellison. I'm Service Manager for Universal Youth Services, which sits in Community Youth Services. So I appreciate Andy asking me to come today and give an overview of what we do as Community Youth Services. It's multifaceted, and we've got quite a lot of different services on offer for young people, not just in the North Lac, but obviously I've got a focus on the North Lac tonight, but across the city. So who we are, I don't know where to stand, which is best. Who we are. So we're made up of lots of different youth, well, there's four youth engagement services, and we seek to support young people where they're at, so in their community, in their space, where they want to be, whether that's school, home, a youth club, a park, a youth shelter, a local library. Young people need the support that we have on offer. Workers and practitioners will support the young people in developing their own plans and their own ideas about what goals they want to achieve, and it's always in bite-sized chunks and in small steps. So in terms of our services, we have the Performance Quality Analysis and Information Service, which, working for the council, we have long titles for a lot of things. So internally we call it PEQUA. Information Advice and Guidance Service, so that's with young people who are currently not in employment, education or training. The Universal Youth Services, which is our youth club. Prevention Services, which is one-to-one. And I'll just go into a little bit more detail on each one. So the Performance Quality Insurance and Impact Service, this is the backbone to our service, where we do all our admin support, our financial transactions, and monitor and audit our finance for us, ensure that all our policies and procedures are in place and we best support young people, provide data, so we create data dashboards for us, so we can see if there are gaps in the provision where we
We've also got, we also have some careers drop-ins. We're looking to start one in the north area in the new year. The closest one to this area is Housekeeping Library. So there's careers guidance workers there. We've got 5 days across the city. We do some wellbeing sessions around exam stress times, and there's young people that work with careers guidance workers and creating video. And if the presentation can be sent out at the end, I can attach the link to the video that will be created as well. So Universal Youth Services is a service that I oversee. So we do group activities, centre-based work, corridor workshops in schools to promote our work. We do lots of events with people in the region, like this month at Sadaka. People from the north attended that. We cover all 7 local areas that we currently deliver around 40 sessions a week across the city, and fund other organisations to deliver 23 sessions across the week. And then just, excuse me, focus on contact us. Like I said, Sheffield Directory, it's got all the services on there, got all the referral rooms, if anyone wants any information, just ask me anything. But that's the contact details, get in touch with us. So we're not just about youth work delivery, we've got a whole list of approaches to supporting young people across the country. That's fine. And then there's 2 links there, one to the ESF Ambition Project, which young people did in terms of careers, and then we've got some moments, which was a video undertaken by the Voice of Living Service that's quite hard hitting. So, sorry, I did waffle on that.
First of all, comments. I don't think you waffled on the floor. There's really just two questions. One, obviously on the Brent stuff and the understood branding and also to extent on needs, what performance indicators is that?
Yeah.
You see what we're doing, but can we actually demonstrate the effect this is having on people? And then what I wanted to ask on the youth parliament, somebody who's very keen on what's education young people, but what have they discussed or made decisions upon? Can we demonstrate that they've had any influence on policy making from the adults?
Yes.
Got the
Yes.
council.
I can't go into depth on the actual answer to your question because I don't manage those services.
Yeah.
But I can get you the answer. But just so you know, in terms of the need data, where we have neighbours storage with our KPIs and our performance indicators are married across core cities. So our need figures are quite stable at the moment in terms of the city, and not those quite high in terms of not knowing where young people are, and that's usual for this time of year because we have a dropout rate from colleges where young people is one course, one choice, and there's a lot of dropouts. And the colleges aren't as quick as we'd like sometimes in terms of updating their databases to show that young people are now currently needed. But we have performance analysis clinics with our surveys and with elected members and different committees that are produced by the data that we input. I can ask Dan White, the service manager for the IAG service, to get you that in full detail. But we are eventually getting to KPIs and we can show progress in that's not a problem.
Would it be possible for us to maybe sort of do a follow-up?
Yes.
Is it in scope for laptops? I'm just going to be provided in scope for laptops. We can actually say, okay,
And that's our deficit of the voice and living service. Sorry, I can't.
And one on the youth parliament and youth cabinet.
Parliament, yeah.
Have they actually demonstrated any influence that they've had on decisions?
We can demonstrate, I just don't have that on the way off the top of my head. I'm not going to do that service.
Any questions from councillors? Comments? Any more? No?
I'm sure we would all agree that youth provision in all wards is really, really important. I think the Youth Voice and Influence team do an amazing job. I've attended a couple now of the elections where they get elected and things, and spoke to lots of amazing young people. And also the Youth Voice and Influence Awards that was recently. An amazing event and a wonderful team that coordinate that. So yeah, I think it's brilliant. And when you speak to the young people, they're so enthusiastic. It's lovely.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for your update. Representing Stanton Ward, the reality is we have a huge rate of geographically, and a lot of our young people are spread out all over the place. The city wards are relatively straightforward that in fact these groups we meet and we need to have towards half a mile, whatever. Some of our youngsters have to catch a lift or whatever with 10 miles potentially. What can you do to make the services more accessible to the youngsters of Stanton Ward and probably Stocksbridge as well?
Yeah, I think it's the key to that is not having street centres where people have to travel to, but it's particularly youth work social people. So I think it's key to speak to people in those wards, more rural. I think, the north line is the most rural. Rural where the entity is in its own right. It's a lot different than
share the slides with us?
Yeah, they're already
Provide Philip, and then we can distribute them to Town and Parish Council. So I think the contact information will be really useful.
Yeah, and the only question I was to get was that actually it's not just about people that are living in that lot of all around the spot. We're stepping stone in the spot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've got Laura. Laura second. I've got to go with Stocksbridge Housekeeping. Mark.
I just wanted to say before we start, I've not written this before, and I'm stepping in for my manager, Lee, so I was a bit last minute, but we'll get through it. Thank you. If I've got any questions, I can take details and get those to you once I've got my spoken to Lee. So I work for the Stocksbridge Centre. I'm a good developer, and I work with some of the North Park areas and some of the others.
Yeah, but Laura does stop with the development signs for our increase the West End.
So we work together on a few things, we'll get to that in the slide. So on the first slide, these are some of the existing provision at Stocksbridge Leisure Centre. So on a Tuesday and a Friday we have a teen gym which is open to boys and girls. On a Thursday we have a girls only teen gym. All of these are quite well used. There's quite a lot of children that go to those. It's £3 a session, £5 for a week pass, or it's £20 for a month. Within the £20, the children also get used to the swimming pool as well. Again, that is really well used, and they work quite closely together with the high schools and stuff as well, so the children are made aware of that at the school, and then they can start that. On the second slide, there's the ultimate activity club on a Saturday morning at the Leisure Centre. This runs every Saturday from 10 a.m. till 12 noon. Not last week and the weekend before, I believe.
The three members of that were asked to put something on the National Play Day that we were doing in Sheffield. It's all about promoting play, not just for children on their own, but involving faculty. So we've got parents involved, grandparents involved. We've got a big Monday on the Stocksbridge Leisure Centre, trying to make those teachers and quite short girls and let them people turn out and then about 25 parents involved talking about the kids. And all sorts of different activities, sports activities, stage-based, and we've got a lot of people who want to do something every week as well. Following on from that, we're open to both consultants, they work for training in the near future as well. So it's a 6-week course for each of anybody. We get like an NOC, that will go on communication. If anybody knows, anybody who's interested, we are taking games, prevention of interest. As you imagine, next, probably early New Year, we'll be out somewhere with a running without any problem for Sheffield as well. So I'd like to start on top of that opportunity to people as well.
So just finally, it's only a short slide. I also been involved with design. So I've been supported at the Waterside Development Association. Within that we have done other projects, but one of the projects came from a community meeting that we held in the church in Breakout. There were children that came to the meeting with parents, and the children themselves stood up in front of the whole group, which was really inspiring actually now I'm doing this. And they spoke out that there's a need for something within Waterside for them to go to. They wanted an indoor provision and an outdoor provision. So at the moment there's nothing youth-wise in Waterside. So at the moment we are trying to seek funding to employ
we are a very isolated community, and it costs people money to go into town for these activities that are at the centre, that they don't have to get there, they don't have to think about to get there, or to having something local is really, really important. So I feel it's decent people say that you are looking at Kensington frameworks. So will you change those civilised centres so that you continue to follow the mathematical one of information out the frameworks and how to see that when the next time you
Yeah, so that would be a specific area based on the general north area, and the city centre area would require more sort of not something like Sheffield. If it's going to be demand, again, to apply for that, if it's demand, you'll be treated to be better to something before rather than
you're doing that from the legend, doing that from the legend.
not sure where we're going to be.
Partnership with private street vendors, working with these services and they also train in the east, people come from the north to do that, and they approach the last and we're doing something in Stocksbridge to ensure that they will be so there will be some places, but the idea is that we introduce
Final presentation is Anthony Olaseinde, always not
I'm Anthony Olaseinde, also known as Big Ann, and I'm one squeeze away from breaking one of those chairs. So yeah, always an alternative. We created it around 6 years ago off the back of an anti-knife crime campaign called Keep Sheffield Stainless. The reason for this is, as we work with more young people and got to understand the issues with violent crime and knife crime, we came to understand that actually the knife is not the issue, it's a mindset and a mentality of the young person holding it. Because at the end of the day, a knife can be used as a weapon, but it's also used as a tool. So it's down to those people. Next slide, please. So I'll talk through a bit of the projects that we've done. One of my favourite ones on the weapon exhibitions. There's 8 of those across currently. The top 8 are already in place, and we're more in things like Lincolnshire. Luckily, we've been able to work with the military unit and the South Wales Police on this project, and they're putting a figure of 1. So it means we'll have 12, and we've purchased an additional, so there'll be 20 plus weapon ammunition. I think is a very, very big thing. Why weapon ammunition? I think you've got to give somebody an opportunity. Currently, I've collected myself, including the police and the VRU, I've collected 1,500 weapons off the street. In the top left-hand corner there, that's just a picture of a bunch of them. I've had weapons that are little kitchen knives to zombie killers, machetes. Twice we've had firearms. We've had live ammunition multiple times. Before, what I had to do was pay to get these weapons, not the guns. I never took the guns. The police came for the guns, but all the like knives and the axes and those kind of things, I paid to get them stored safely, and then I sent it off to a metal sculptor who would make pieces of artwork for us, such as this is the tray of opportunity. You can't really see it there, but each leaf is a knife. All the base is made 100% from the weapons. It was about this big, but now it's about that big. That's 500 of the weapons, where we've just commissioned the same person to create another piece of artwork, but I'm not going to say any more about that. You can have to go and see it yourself. Next slide, please. So some more of our services. We offer education said, we do talks, we do focus workshops. These are for young people that are being taught, classed or looked at as high risk. What does high risk look like? They might have all the brothers that have been trouble-free, they might have no attendance, they might keep getting behavioural points. I go into schools and I work with these young people to try and show them a positive way. I do university seminars where I talk to university students about my mindset and how we approach young people, engage with them. We also do mentoring, which I think is very, very important. You know, in schools, there's a lot of kids getting excluded and expelled. We've got a project where we go in for 10 weeks and the young people choose what they want to talk about and we deliver sessions on that so they understand. We've got a podcast where we talk to a wide range of people, from people doing stuff in the community to mothers and victims of knife crime, from people that got locked up when they was 15 for murder, just to give people an understanding of the mindsets of different people that we work with. Victim Voices documentary series, this is again a documentary on people that have been affected by knife crime. We give out 20-week control kits across South Yorkshire. I'm not too keen on the bleed control kits. None of them's been used. I think it's good to show that the caring wants to make a difference, but I've not seen any of them being used. Boundaries Remix was a song where we got a local rapper from Sheffield to work with some young people to create a song about making positive life choices. And youth clubs, we've got two at the minute. One is at Mount Tabor, the other one is at Hible Development Trust. Myself and the team, we took them from hardly any new people attending to up to 20, which I think is really, really good. But, you know, one thing I've noticed with these youth clubs is not that you should pick and choose what kind of young people you work with, because I feel that all young people should get, you know, treat the same and have the same opportunities to get support. But the kind of kids that come to the youth club aren't the ones that you see on shops, you know, doing antisocial things, committing crimes. Next slide, please. So to try and reach those young people, we created the Mobile Youth Club, which was launched, I think it was 2 weeks ago now. We did 4 stops. It was absolutely amazing. We got over 250 people that came, a lot of young people. Basically, we've got a van, we split it off. Half of it is for DJing and multimedia stuff. The other half is for a PlayStation, where the young people come and play. We've also got a gazebo and arts and crafts stuff, what we can get out, as well as sporting equipment. And this is what this bus does essentially. Goes and tries to reach the harder to reach young people, goes to the hotspots, such as on shops where young people are creating havoc, and we will get out and we will work with those young people. Not to tell them what to do and what not to do, because we believe young people have a voice against their own decisions, but to engage with them and try and, you know, let them see that you are young now, but you'll grow old. The decisions that you might make now could affect your future. Next slide, please. So, yeah, our aim is to outreach. We want to specialise in outreach. Get to those young people that get forgotten about. We want to go to them, because we've noticed, like with the youth clubs, if you put a youth club on, who's to say that the young person's going to go there? And often you find that these youth clubs, highly young people don't go there. So we want to go to the young people in their community and break down those barriers. We want to engage them with positive relationships with the young people, give them advice and support, and signpost them to other projects that we can't do. Gather their thoughts and feelings. We all talk about what young people need and what young people should do, and we don't really ask them, because our version of what they need is not the same as what they actually need. We want to reduce antisocial behaviour and other criminal behaviour, give the young people a voice, and just bridge that gap. We feel that it's a very us and them kind of feel when it comes to young people, and we want to bridge that gap so communities get on well, and hopefully we'll get the young people to make a positive change. Next slide. Good call. You have to put forward. So yeah, the next slide should be all our details like social media and stuff. Well, that will come up. All that's get sorted out. Yeah. Dr. Shop, yeah.
What people get used to again, that's sort of really trying to get to, the ones who've got problems. And very often, background of those problems is a lot more complex than just their behaviour. So how do you engage with, I'm thinking, other agencies that can maybe sort of start to delve into, the backgrounds and other practices? Think about, just, broken families, culture of certain states, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so
how do you engage with that?
Yeah, so, well, those kind of kids that I'm looking for, and my team looking for, we were once those kind of kids. So that one is straight away from where the supplements are coming from. And we work with them really good since we have the leaflets, we have all the information we need to give to them.
But they may need some support from other agencies that they might not be getting. How do you do that? I was just thinking, in some cases, you find people maybe, the families in poverty, they're not getting the right benefits, the right issues around domestic violence. How do you deal with those?
We work with them. So every time we get a stop, for example, when we went to Big Garden State. Yeah. So before we went there, we talked to the people in the community, and so we knew who they were. So if any new people who with any sort of issues towards, we would know who to contact directly and give them that information. So we're not just going up to it like a company, but we're not just going, okay, this area has got a high rate of antisocial behaviour, we're just going to pull up in the bus and jump out like Avengers. It's not like that. We have to know the area, we have to know the people and what people need, and just to make sure we can give them the right information.
Thank you. Good evening, Anthony. Good to see you again. Yeah, and thank you for the work you're doing. I guess my concern is that, as I understand it, if a young person, if a young person carries a knife, they're much more likely to get hurt again. So, is that message, I know it's getting across, but is it making a difference? Are we training for something positive or negative in terms of youngsters holding knives, keeping knives? Are you seeing any difference?
I'm actually different now, the few times on that way, the few kind of weapons, why at the end of the day it's a weapon, young people seem to think that they can carry a knife and pull it around, move it around like it's Harry Potter 1, and they know what they're doing. It's not that simple, it's not a joke, it's a weapon. So when I do my sessions, I make sure that they know that they need to carry my knife. I thought that, so as the years go on, the size of the knives have increased, and the more people I talk to, the more that are being affected by it. So I thought seeing a decrease in it on a scale. Now, some of the new people that I work with and that we've grown to, we've grown close to, and they follow our social media, you won't believe the amount of times that we get a message, maybe a year or two later, from these new people that we work with, telling us that, at the time we thought we knew better, but it turns out that, what we were telling them was right. We did make a few mistakes, however, they were not serious and we were being able to, keep on the straight and narrow. And that's a difference I see, but on a larger scale, don't, because there's not anything, there's not a project that big to counter knife crime. It's little organisations like ours that are doing our little bits now that are there, increasing the bits of people to reach, or on like national level, I don't think we'll be quite aware.
Yeah. Thank you. In one of your slides, you talked about talking to the youngsters in their communities. Similar to a question I asked earlier. How do you get the community to stand towards? They're so all over the place. Are you working with schools, for example? We've got two good secondary schools in Scotland standing towards. Are you getting support from them?
No, not really. I don't know why, but it's sort of like if you get somebody in to talk about it, it's like anybody else that you have an issue. So the schools that I've talked to, that's what they said. They said, look, you do great work, we've got a few people that put it out, however, if we review it, then that means that we've got a problem with knife crime, and people are going to be worried. However, if people understood the work that we do, it's preventative. So if you see me somewhere,
right now, I think you secondary school, how many times? Really scary.
8-year-old in primary school, again in primary school, and was a youth member of black football at the gate, and then said that a kid got a knuckle out of the toilet at school and was presenting it all. So they said the parents sent them over to a free project in Hible. We engaged with the youth person, you know, and teachers like if it's their lives was based and how to handle situations. But there's no contact from the school. The parents will keep telling them that they're due to our session. The schools don't want to know. They don't want to know at all. The amount of time that it's told and being a nice time in the school are often going for free. So I don't want to know what they'll say. When you have to do like that, so
The question was very, very much about how we relax and do something. I think we've got a question to people about concerns and see if we can get an answer or a great process. But thanks very much. We have another breakout, about 20 minutes, and he's just going to explain what's happened before it.
All members, there's questions on the table. The council will come join you. Some of the last staff will come join you as well. Just a discussion of seeing that back, talking with you, talking with the manager. Use post-its or the zip charts, zip charts.
Thank you. About 20 minutes. Thank you.
To 8 and aim to finish for 8 o'clock. So, does this table want to go first? So,
There's 5 or 6 football clubs, tennis clubs, there's even bowling clubs, whether they're used very much for younger people. We've got the Caribbean Club, Stronger Minds Youth Club, always an alternative, St Paul's. We've got holiday clubs, scout groups and guide groups. For question 2, how can we approve the offer? How can we approve the offer? So we've put that there's not enough free provision. There should be. We need to look really at the working poor because they seem to be massively missed. There's lots of fun things out there for free school meals for kids, and then obviously if you of more affluent means, then you can fund things. But if you're in the working poor, you're entitled to nothing, have to pay for everything, and therefore those kids are massively missed. Looking at provision that runs for maybe less provision in terms of number of days. That's, for example, a holiday club runs, but making it longer days so those working parents can actually go to work. So as great as it is to have like a 2-hour activity where you can leave your kids, a parent that's working, that's neither use nor ornament because they still can't go to work. Whereas if you had like one day that was maybe 4 hours rather than 2 days that were 2, that's looking at how you're putting that provision in. Looking at the funding, the overall funding of half school clubs, school holiday clubs, in terms of breaking down the barriers. So what we've heard a lot of is that lots of kids that are half funded might not want to go to those half funded clubs because they can't go with their friends, and that's actually building barriers rather than making it more accessible for all. And it can seem quite unfair, so how do we make it accessible but still equitable? So we were saying about increasing the half offer, but making it so that it's open to all children. So we're thinking maybe having the provision, but one way of saving money would be people send the children with food, so then you're going to save loads of money there, but actually then be in a position to make it more accessible. Question 3. Does anyone else want to talk? You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job, Emma. What areas, issues should we prioritise? So working more and looking more at the working poor. engaging with youths to get them out. Not all focus should be on targeted groups, so again, not looking at just free school meal kids, or a lot of what we were saying was a lot of those presentations which were fabulous, like Always an Alternative and all the different presentations, but it seemed very much like there were types of children, so SEN kids, children that were having problems, or looking at what about the children that are actually okay but still facing all these needs. So children that are straight down the line, they're still having impacts from toxic masculinity and knife crime and drugs, but just because they are okay doesn't mean they shouldn't be being targeted as well. So rather than just picking up on the buzzword or whatever's like important at the moment, looking at kids that actually are all right, there's a need there as well. And that's question 3. And then question 4, we just talked about who we all work with, so different schools, Active Regen, the parish council, faith buildings, churches, obviously the LAC, and Sheffield City Council Youth Service. Is that okay?
Thank you very much.
Provision that we knew about was Always an Alternative based at High Green, so in the West Ecclesfield ward. Stronger Minds Together also in High Green. St George's Football also in High Green. And then we had Scout provision at High Green, Chapeltown and Grenoside. And we noted that they're all full. And I think High Green has got a waiting list. Somebody mentioned, although we're doing West Ecclesfield, it was mentioned at Stocksbridge that there was some new outdoor gym equipment at Coronation Park. For question 2, how can we improve the offer? Somebody suggested having a boxing gym in the area. Somebody else suggested that we're engaging with schools more. And ways to improve it again were to just have other youth club provision other than the Scouts. And we didn't get as far as 3 or 4.
Thank you very much. Sorry.
And just chatted about other things. All youth related, but we didn't do the questions. Sorry.
It's okay.
We moved around a little bit.
As well as the groups, I think part of the breakout, just the networking, people's had a chance to talk to people about various things. And I hope it was about your provision. Thank you. So the next job is to actually get these typed up, and we hope to ask young people the same questions and see what they come up with, see if it's something similar. So item number 9, we'll come to the formal business now, is the North Local Area Committee budget for 24-25. It's an update, which Andy will present.
At the LAC meeting last September, the councils agreed that they were going to have 2 funds. The first was a Great North Fund by grants, and the second was the Next Generation Fund, and they also allocated £10,000 to support food poverty. We've had the first round of grant giving, and from the Great North Fund, 8 grants were awarded, totalling £30,152 to a variety of organisations across the 4 wards. Next Generation Funds, 7 grants were awarded, totalling £27,146. Again, they were across the ward, across the 4 wards. Cost of Living Grant Fund, so far we've allocated 2 grants to £2,600, and then with the discretionary budget that I hold with the Chair, we've delegated £6,370 worth of funding for 3 projects. So far we've allocated £66,313 worth of funds, and we've got remaining for the financial year £41,985, and we'll be in the process now of sitting down with the councillors on working out how to allocate that money across the rest of the financial year and which projects they're going to support.
Thank you, Andy. It's now ask the committee members, councillors, to note the expenditure against the £100,000 budget to address the local priorities in the North, like as detailed in the report. Could you just have a show of hands, please? Any dissent? Sorry, yeah. Go on. Julie. Yeah. Yeah, it's the next gen fund. There was an overspend of 2,000, was it 2,000 something, and it was allocated from.
Yeah. Basically, within the budgets, I've got a budget that's mine as well, so I'll transfer money from that into those funds if we need to do that. And there's still facility within the budgets as there are to move across the funds if we overspend on one and not the other. So you have that flexibility to do that within the funds.
Okay, Joe. Yeah, thank you. That just leaves me then to look at the item 11, which is minutes of the previous meeting, agenda item number 11, and it's on page 19 onwards. The minutes held of the committee held on the 10th of September 24, and that was at Stocksbridge. Thank you all for attending. I hope you found it useful. Quite different tonight how we've done it. And especially welcome to all our speakers and presentations. Welcome to and thanks to the journalists who have come along, and to the staff over there with the mics, etc. And the rest of the LAC team staff from across the city helping us out tonight. Thanks for everyone for coming. Safe journey home, and the next meeting will be in February up at Stannington. Thanks everyone.